Hello everyone, my name is Nick Rigdon, and today I'm just going to be doing a small commentary on a video this morning from CBSN, I think that's how you say it, video that a lot of people have seen because it aired on live television. But I noticed that there was huge problems in this one little news story, and yeah, let's get into this video, shall we? Okay.
CBS News White House correspondent Weijia Jiang is
What is her name? She said that so fast.
traveling with the president and brings us the latest from Mar-a-Lago, where the president is, which is, of course, Palm Beach, Florida. So,
What does she mean by that? Which is, of course, West Palm Beach, Florida. Did she mean that sassy? Because she coming off a little bit sassy because she's leaning. First of all, you're a journalist. Sit up. Have proper posture. Second of all, don't be leaning like that.
so the Associated Press is reporting that the White House overruled health officials who actually wanted to recommend that elderly Americans and those with underlying conditions maybe be advised not to take commercial airlines.
Why is this a news story?
How's the administration responding to this report?
Well, the spokesperson for Vice President Mike Pence, who is, of course, leading the fight against coronavirus, says that this story is completely fiction and that was never a recommendation presented to the task force. But the Associated Press is reporting that the CDC wanted it to be part of the guidelines to recommend to the elderly and those with an elderly condition not to fly on commercial planes.
Notice how they say that these people are recommending people just not going on commercial airlines. How they're saying that was an overruled guideline to something. It's not very clear what they're talking about. I guess the CDC has guidelines on how people should contain the C virus.
It is notable, Anne-Marie, that Dr. Fauci.
You're gonna want to remember that name, Dr. Fauci, because they say it about 50 times. They don't say specifically what he's associated with. They just say that he's kind of like the leading expert on this case, or on the C virus case.
Who, of course, is essentially the lead doctor on all of this because he's the nation's expert on these sorts of infectious diseases.
He is the expert on these sorts of infectious diseases.
Doctor, infectious diseases.
Sort of, conflict between what the administration is saying and what Dr. Fauci is saying.
Is the conflict that I'm getting confused by this news story? Is that the conflict? Because
conflict continues because
what conflict? They just overrode a rule.
we've seen conflicting statements from the vice president. How is the White House responding? I mean, it's hard for the American people to know who they can turn to for information because information seems to come at rapid rates from different sources.
They act like all this information is bombarding them all of a sudden.
Like, oh, we don't know what to do. The numbers don't add up. Oh no, there's a few dozen over here, and then a 4 million over here, and then a 5 in containment, and President Trump, orange man bad.
Right, and that is a huge criticism on this administration, that you could have started testing people when you first heard about this in January or even early February. But here we are in March, and you're just now saying that, there will be millions of tests available by the end of this week. And so the numbers are confusing.
That sounds very first world, and she makes it sound terrible. She's like,
we didn't get 6 million tests for the coronavirus. We only got 5 million. It's my Sweet 16. How dare you, Daddy?
By knowing who is infected and who should be quarantining themselves.
people of America, do you think that we are stubborn enough to quarantine ourselves in our houses? No, because as soon as we're out of a pack of cigarettes, we're down the Minute Mart trying to get a pack of cigarettes. Screw containment, I need my nicotine.
And on Friday, President Trump said, while he was touring the Centers for Disease Control,
This is what gets me the most out of this whole whole news story. Listen to what she says about this tweet.
He said anybody who needs a test can get one. That's one thing. But then he also said anybody who wants a test can get a test. And the very next day, Secretary Alex Azar of Health and Human Services had to correct that during a briefing at the White House. And he said, actually, you have to get a note from the doctor or...
Did that tweet have anything to do with a test? Or if you felt like you had coronavirus?
A, someone in the medical...
Was that a mistake on the graphics people? Was there another tweet that you were supposed to show, or are you just showing that he's being critical of you?
So the specifics of the messaging coming out of the administration has been sort of a little haphazard for sure, but
This is what's gonna make people not like you and vote for him again.
Like, Trump 2020 is just it's bound to happen. Just put on your hats and accept it. Like,
I presume that what the president is trying to do is keep people calm, right? And so the best way to keep people calm is to show that he is not concerned at all. He has these campaign rallies all the time. There are many, many people there.
That's all they care about. Orange man bad. Orange man bad. They think we're stupid and orange man bad.
In the past said that he was sort of a bit of a germaphobe. Anyways.
No one asked for your opinion, Becky. Who cares?
But do you know of any changes in the way he's behaving as a result of coronavirus?
Well, he claims that he will not stop holding these campaign rallies, saying if you are an elderly person, if you have an underlying condition, if you are vulnerable, stay away from large crowds. And
if you're elderly and you go to a Trump rally, you're going to die.
The president likes to boast about how big his rallies are, thousands and thousands of people. At the same time, he says he's not worried about holding them, and neither are his supporters.
You're going to die because coronavirus. The CBSN News Network told me so. Linda, don't go to the Trump rally in Illinois. Of course, this went into Trump is not postponing his rallies because of the coronavirus. Neither is any other Democrat in the race right now. Allison, you're a Democrat.
Yeah.
You don't have to show your face if you don't want to, but okay. So Trump is not stopping his rallies because of the coronavirus, but neither are Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden.
So is anybody complaining about the other side?
No.
Well, that's stupid.
Exactly.
Of course, he shouldn't be speaking on behalf of those people because it's unclear whether or not they would continue to go to these rallies at all.
How did this go from a story about the coronavirus to if you go to one of Trump's rallies, you're gonna die? Why are we only talking about Orange Man? Why are we not talking about Orange Man bad? Why are we not talking about Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden? Why are we not George Biden? Oh God.
Since we are seeing that even in the community, they are hesitant, many people are hesitant to get together in crowds. But it's not only President Trump. The campaign also says that they are moving forward as normal.
You didn't want to show any interviews with just average Trump supporters of them about being hesitant about going to one of these places because of the coronavirus? Show me some interviews of people wearing Donald Trump 2020 merch. I want to see it. You know how much I crave that? I crave that a lot. I love seeing boomers in Make America Great Again hats. It literally fuels my soul.
Heard from several senior campaign officials just yesterday who told us that. But here's what's interesting, guys.
But here's what's interesting. Something I'm going to make up. I'm literally going to make this up. And because I'm not going to show any pictures, I'm not going to show any interviews, and I'm not going to show anything. I'm just going to say it. And hopefully that's enough to make you think about how much you don't want to vote for Trump. Because coronavirus equals Trump.
That when you look at the campaign rally schedule, there are 0 on it. And this comes after several weeks of packed rallies, some back-to-back, state to state to state. And this is really when, they're trying to ramp things up, and so far they don't have any scheduled. So we're hearing one thing, but in practice we're seeing another. But yeah, you're right. President Trump wants to insist to the public that he's not worried. And even though the mayor of Washington, D.C. over this weekend confirmed the first case in the nation's capital, he too says he's not worried about that.
Trump equals the coronavirus.
I've gotten 10 times more confused from this one news story than anything else in the world.
Finally, Ouija, the one thing I'll say is, about this conservative political action conference where they announced recently that somebody who attended that conference tested positive.
Yeah. So Republicans equal coronavirus now.
Yeah. For the coronavirus, that individual reportedly interacted with Senator Ted Cruz of Texas and Representative Paul Gosar.
Ted Cruz and Paul Gosar. Equal coronavirus.
Gosar, they are now self-quarantining.
They gon' get quarantined, and they Republican. Don't vote Republican, because Republican equal corona beer virus.
The president's in his 70s, so are the other two Democratic rivals that are running for the nomination. Yeah. So this idea of continuing as business as usual, even when you've got members in Congress deciding to quarantine themselves, is concerning.
Right, and the White House says they know who this person is and that the president and vice president did not come in contact with this patient who is now tested positive for coronavirus.
Darn it. I'm sorry, news media, that Donald Trump does not have the virus right now. Like, Hillary Clinton was in a lab somewhere and she was like, I need a virus. We need a virus to take him out because none of our candidates will. So we got the virus, right? It didn't reach Trump. It reached Ted Cruz. No, wrong person. We wanted to reach Trump. Orange man coronavirus.
But you make a really important point, which is that this person did come in contact with several members of Congress, with several of the other attendees. So the question is, if that was passed along, whether any of those people interacted with administration officials. So we're starting to see how close President Trump is to the potential of, at least coming into contact with somebody who may have it.
Getting the coronavirus. We're trying to detect how close Trump can get to the coronavirus. That's what I swear that's what this news story is about.
Don't think that will change because obviously they're hesitant to release details about his health unless it's a really good report about how healthy he is. And so I just don't think that they will go there. But it is a question on everyone's mind because, the president is 73 years old. He is, someone who could be considered vulnerable. And because he continues to travel in this way and because he does have potential exposure, it just seems that he would be getting tested, certainly if he has any symptoms, which we have not heard of yet.
All right, Ouija Jang for us. Thank you, Ouija, as always. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, basically, it started off, Mike Pence is doing everything he can to get the coronavirus test out there. They're being shipped within 2 weeks, and there's 5 million tests being shipped out within 2 weeks. Donald Trump said that everyone could have one, and then someone went behind him and said, you have to go to the doctor. And the problem was apparently he's not stopping his rallies because only Trump has large rallies, and the coronavirus is going around. So if you go to a Trump rally, you're gonna be dead. Sorry, Becky. And something about how Trump is old and it hasn't reached him yet, but he's not showing symptoms that they know of yet. There's so much within this one little news article that I watched like just this morning, and I had to make a video about it. But it's just so weird the way like that they're not referencing anyone's profession, not directly quoting them or putting quotes on the screen of them. The tweet that they used of Donald Trump saying, literally, the tweet had nothing to do with the news story except for it said coronavirus, and it said, the Surgeon General said the average American shouldn't be too worried about it. But they were talking about tests over that graphic, so I don't understand where they were going with that. You don't need to insert your opinions about Donald Trump's health and how you hopefully wish that the coronavirus would take him out, because that's what I've heard. Like, that's what I'm gathering from the info, is that you all want it to happen so bad. So anyway, my name is Nick Rigdon, and I'm done with this world, but I'm still gonna live in it because I have to, because those are the principles of my religion. So anyway, I hope you had a great day, and watch me some other time, or you don't have to, which I totally get. Okay, bye.